One of the tabs within a service entities page is labeled Topology. This is where users can view environmental details about how the service is hosted and related services and websites, as well as view an automatically generated topological map. This view includes the following subtabs: Map, Instances, Hosts, Kubernetes Pods, Kubernetes Containers, AWS Lambdas, Peer Services, Website. By default, all of these views show an overview of all of the last hour worth of data, or using the time range selector, can show historical instances which are no longer reporting. The map view will show a visual representation of your application and all associated entities related to the APM service being viewed. Each individual node can be selected to see a preview of that entity's data, along with a link to view details, which will take you to the overview of that entity, whether it's another APM service, host, database, or website entity. The Instances tab shows an overview of all of the running instances. This tab has useful information such as the Service Instance Healthscore, host and/or container details, where the instance is running, the PID of the associated process, language and APM library versions, when it was first seen and last seen, and then graph of recent average request rate, average response time, and average error rate to allow for the easy comparison of the various instances running at a given time. The Hosts tab will show whatever details SolarWinds Observability has about the underlying host where these services are running. This includes the host health score, whether there is an associated cloud provider, the region the host resides in, and the instance type if applicable. This would also show the OS type and high-level resource utilization metrics around CPU, memory, disk, and network utilization. A column showing when this host was last seen will be displayed as well. In order to show host details, the host would need to be monitored either with the UAMS agent and/or with the CloudWatch or Azure integration. The Kubernetes Pods tab will show the different pods where the service is running, separated by namespace. This tab provides details of the status, containers running in that pod, if there have been any recent restarts, CPU and memory utilization, and the age of the pods. In order to show Kubernetes pod details, the cluster would need to be monitored by SolarWinds Observability instrumentation. The Kubernetes Containers tab will show the specific containers responsible for running the service. This tab shows the specific image, status, CPU and memory utilization, any recent restarts, and the age of the containers. As with the pod level details, in order to show Kubernetes container details, the cluster would need to be monitored by SolarWinds Observability instrumentation. The Peer Services tab will show data about other services a given APM service directly interacts with, either by calling to that service or being called by it. This tab shows the Peer Services health scores, the details of the different service names, the language of the service, number of requests between the services, as well as an overall average request rate, average response time, average error ratio, and when the service was last seen. The Websites tab will show associated sites which are being monitored by Digital Experience Monitoring. Specifically, this tab shows the site health score, name, URL, average HTTP and HTTPS response times, and when the site was last seen.